On a final note, what would you say about visibility in the workplace?
Visibility in the workplace. I mean, that is related to another topic around politics in the workplace. You know what I mean? This is what I say about visibility. It's important. If you draw a career triangle, I always like to draw that triangle. At the base of the triangle, you need IQ, intellectual intelligence. You are at the base. We just need you to deliver on the job. So your technical skills, very important. But as you start moving up the career ladder, it's no longer just your IQ. It is your IQ, which is now assumed, plus EQ. Because now you have possibly inter-unit or interdepartmental relationships. You are not managing, you are not a supervisor, you are not a team lead or assistant manager. We are giving you responsibilities beyond just managing your own space. So it's no longer just about what I can do with my technical skills. We need your emotional intelligence skills. You need to know how to relate with people. You need to know when to say nothing and when to say everything. You need to be able to read the room. Not just read the room, read your boss. Read other bosses, right? Just understand that your social skills, self-regulation, self-awareness, self-management, all those will be very important as critical success factors. And then as we move further, it's no longer just about IQ and EQ. It's not about PQ as well. And PQ for me is political intelligence. And that is saying, I'm not saying people should play politics. I'm just saying that you need to understand, you need to have organizational awareness. Twice in my career, I lost my job because I was deficient in PQ. Totally naive from a political organizational politics perspective. I was totally naive, and it cost me my job twice. But I learned from those experiences. For as long as we are social animals coming to the workspace, will there be politics? Yes. Should we play politics? Let me start from the first person. Should we understand politics? Yes. Should we be politically aware? Yes. Should we play politics? I'll say no. So visibility for me is making sure that your job is, especially as you go higher in your career, your job is visible, your excellence, your professionalism, your culture, your leadership abilities, they are obvious, they are visible in the right corners or quarters.
The right corners
or quarters. Yes, because there's always that confluence in every organization where power, politics, and influence meet. The most important person may not be the managing director. The next important person to the managing director may not be the deputy managing director. You know what I mean? And as it is at the macro level, so it is at the micro level, units and departments. So we're not saying go carry the bag of the powerful person, go to the car park and wash their car. No. But when the opportunities present themselves for you to showcase what you have, don't miss that moment. Life will not always offer you its big stages, but when it does, make sure you own that stage. You are sent to be a part of a project. That is your moment to lay claim to fame. You are you're going on a call with an executive director to go see a client, and your manager may not be around, and somebody says, "Oh, is there anybody in that unit?" And they say, "Oh, Ikem is around." Okay, yeah, let's go. Just know that day you have been preparing for has finally come. Don't lose that opportunity. So visibility, a lot of things around visibility for me, there are things that happen behind the scenes, getting ready. That's in the place of preparedness, and then waiting for that opportunity to come. If I give you an example of how I got into learning and development training, and today I talk for a living, it was at Athronicin, now KPMG, that we were going to have a training for a client. I think it was a Yambosing company. And because I was working with the manager in charge of that engagement, I was the one who did all the slides and the materials and all that. For whatever reason, the manager was not going to be around anymore because of another engagement. So two options: postpone the training, or I took the training. And guess what? I decided I was going to do it. And I did. I think it was effective presentation skills. This was 2000 or 2001. And I took that training. Since that day, I haven't looked back from standing in front of people and talking to people. Some other person will have said, I can't do. I'm not ready.
You're ready.
And then that opportunity may not come
Come
again. So sometimes visibility, when you don't find that opportunity, at times go look for that opportunity. But I think opportunities come from time to time to us. We just need to have those three things. Understand what's going on with us, understand what's going on around us, and understand what is going on maybe organizational wide, and be ready for those opportunities. That's something that I say, that dream jobs are everywhere. We're only looking for dream employees. Dream employees are made in the quiet, unknown places of self-development, of constantly finding ways to do things better than I did yesterday. Time spent on deepening technical competencies. And if you're in a leadership position, time spent in deepening your leadership competencies. Because how you manage people, how you lead people is obvious to everyone around you as well. So your visibility is not just in your technical capability, is in your social relationship at work, and also in how you manage sensitivities around things happening in the workplace. So visibility for me is primarily about your job, not about finding a sponsor in the organization or who's going to speak for me. I found out that if you do your job very well, if you're professional, and then you add emotional intelligence to it, sponsors will find you and make you visible. And I have examples. Funkela Dimiji, I'm going to mention her name on this podcast. Honestly, she was my sponsor. I didn't ask her to be my sponsor at ABN Quest. I did it. At another organization, and I think it was actually Athwanese. He was the HR manager at Athwanese that recommended me for the next job with Mo Abudu, Vicloret. It was Alex Taiwo who said, there's this opportunity. Are you interested? If my job was not visible to Alex Taiwo, who was the head of HR at that time, I don't think they would recommend me. I wasn't the only available candidate to be recommended in Nigeria at that time. So visibility is first and foremost what you do every day. It's your call to become excellent in your deliverables. It's your call to not moan and groan and be happy for be moaning and groaning for 29 days and be happy for just one day because it's payday. No, over and beyond. Even if the salary is not commensurate and you're called to do more, discretionary effort. It's a whole lot. Visibility for me is a whole lot, but at the end of the day, it is just to show that you are standing out among the crowd based on what you can do, not based on who you know in the organization. Who you know can help, but please make sure that you know them based on the fact that you can do the job. Because if you know them and then they move you into higher roles and you can't deliver, they will move you out of the organization. It goes without saying. The organization is not charity. If you're not delivering on the job, they'll tell you to go. So visibility is not how it is totally couched these days. Believe me, it's deeper than that. Recently, somebody came to me. I hope if she listens to this podcast, anyway, I won't mention her name, and say that they want to work with me this year about brand visibility. Like, brand visibility. What do I get? And then she listed about 4 things that I get. That's for YF Talent Partners. You said about 4 things. I said, but I already am achieving these 4 things. So what else do you want to give me? No, it just means that you will get all of this. I'm getting all of this. And I ended that conversation by saying that my position on brand visibility is totally different from what is commonly described. Brand visibility for me is value and impact. If you are constantly delivering value and making impact in your small space, there will be opportunity for you to be given more in bigger spaces. But you've got to brand yourself as a person of value. Your boss must know that if I'm not around and we give you the responsibility to be the boss, you will deliver. That is brand. That's branding, and that is visibility. You know what I mean? Yeah. Unlike the boss comes back and they now say, "Who did you send to that meeting?" Don't ever send that guy to the meeting anymore. You know what I mean? Last example that I'll give, I think it was Athwanese as well. Another person who was a sponsor, Rolly Pogose. She was 70 recently. Everybody, Rolly, just in case you're listening to this. just about 6 months that I joined her unit, Anderson Business Support, Rolly was going to give a presentation to the body of partners on a Saturday morning. I'll never forget. And for whatever reason, I think she had to travel as well. She couldn't give that presentation. I don't think it was even 6 months. Maybe it was my third, fourth month of joining. And then Rolly says, yeah, me, no choice. You're my true IC. Second in command, you have to give this. I'm like, God, I just joined. Body of partners. I'm still finding my level. Anyway, the time came Saturday morning. I did the presentation, and it was that visibility that made Sheyi Bakerstead of blessed memory, the managing partner at that time, to tell me if I would move. Imagine that I had gone to that meeting with the partners and I didn't deliver. That would have been the end of the conversation. You want to be visible, be a person of value, be a zone of value, make impact. Don't be a mourner. No, be a value giver. Then you are branding yourself gradually. And when there are opportunities, believe me, even if your line manager is from the pit of hell, other line managers in the organization will recognize your value and they'll give you the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Yemi. I mean, there's so many key points to take out from here. One key thing that stands out is that it is still our responsibility. The level of preparation cannot be overemphasized. We need to prepare. And there's something I also tell my team members. When you're out there, don't let the I'll put it this way, issues around maybe or the drawbacks of your preparation show. So for example, you want to do something, you've already planned it. Okay, you're even supposed to make a speech and you get on stage and the mic is not working.
It happens.
It happens a lot. Would you let that bring you down?
Right. No.
You still go ahead with your presentation. Just make sure that you're audible and you deliver. That's the key thing. So that's something that I also want to take away from this. Your level of preparation matters. Self-awareness is very, very important. Because there are so many people out there, even in the workplace, that are not very confident of themselves. So they can do it.
Yes.
But there's just something inside that says,
Keep the mark.
you can't do it, or they call you, you will fail.
Yeah.
You're right. And some can be tied to low self-esteem.
Yep.
Some can be tied to different circumstances or situations around people. But I think one key thing that you've mentioned is that you can't take that self-awareness away. Even if your pastor prays from now to tomorrow, the responsibility is still on you. You have a lot to play, a lot of role to play rather in developing yourself, bringing yourself out there and ready for that very day when the opportunity comes. The stage is open for everyone.
Yep.
But not everyone actually owns the stage.
There is.
So when you have the opportunity to mount on the stage, make sure you own it. Make sure you create value, and a value that would last for a long time. Thank you so much, Yemi. I think it's been a very good one. I've also learned a lot. And thank you so much. Thank you very much. And I hope you've all learned as well. If you have questions or comments, feel free to engage with us and we'll be available to respond to your questions. Thank you so much once again and have a great one.